All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. We are continuing our weed sector review looking at SNDL and high tide. I will very quickly say, just in case you didn't watch the Tilray and ACB video, both are looking pretty bad. I'm definitely worried about this sector. Now that I look at Sandal, I'm not going to call it Sundial again, right? But now that I look at Sandal, it just, we are now 3 for 3 bad. And again, in my head, the sector tends to move together. And with a couple earnings supposed to be coming out, I think soon, this we need some good news, otherwise there's a lot of all-time lows fears coming in. Okay, so before I get into the details, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages, the horizontal support and resistance lines, and then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms. But even if you don't, just thank you so much for watching these, okay? And then if you disagree with anything I got to say, please throw it in the comments, okay? I'm not here pretending I'm all knowing or anything like that. I'm giving you my opinions. And if yours are better than mine, I'm telling you, I do want to hear them, okay? So let's get into this one specifically. Again, I don't like the name being these 4 letters. I kind of like calling it Sandal. I think some of the viewers have come to like that too. So just FYI if you're new. But look, there was obviously some good we were talking about back in the day, but February has been ugly. Okay, I say this often: when you're in a cluster just like this one, you either violently go up and it's a beautiful thing, or like we see here, you violently get thrown out and it could go down for a while. You know what I mean? And this is scary because look, the 8 just wants to keep going down. The 20 just wants to keep going down. The 50 looks like it wants to keep going down. We're now seeing a curve on the 100 right here, right? That's the same thing we saw on Tilly and on ACB. I don't like that, right? And why don't I like that? I'm just zooming out to show you. We've seen it like this, right? Where you just get these long delays when they just want to keep going down, right? The last thing you want is being under the 8 and the 20. The very last thing you want is to be under all 5 of the moving averages, right? And this just echoes the last video. That's what it seems like most of these weed sector stocks are doing. And it's a scary thing, right? So unless someone's going to come drop the hammer with some good earnings or, some sort of federal news, it just seems like we're heading back down for a bit, And look, I'm not here to spread fear, that. I'm not here to, make it seem gloom and doom, but I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, right? And I like seeing lines go up. I get worried when I see lines go down, right? I get even more worried when I see the price go down. That's even worse, right? But you get the idea. So, not good. Look, we might get little things like this where we can get a little, because look, we're going away from the 8, we come to the 8. We're going away from the 8, we're coming to the 8. We've been going away from the 8 for a while. There might be reason to believe we might be, making a little baby recovery thing, but yeah, it's ugly MACD, all right? I guess decent RSI, but super tight and very irrelevant. And yeah, by no means any good volume over the last any number of days, especially the last 3 days. This is a horrible 3 days, right? So, man, Sandal, Sundial, SNDL, whatever you want to call it, I'm calling this thing way too low to some really important lines, right? So you lose one set. Sorry to zoom in and out so much. That's not what I should be doing. If you lose this 171 line, all you're left with is a big green and a big red, and red turns into green, and if things are bad, it could quickly turn to red, right? And then losing 140 would put this into the all-time low sector as the other ones. And look, looking just this zoomed out, a couple things jump out. Not that long ago, we had an RSI in the 15s. We're at the 30s. It looks like that green line wants to keep going down. This MACD has made a good run. It's definitely stayed on the 0 for a long time. I mean, I don't know if it's just going to stay here, but there's more telling me it might come down than it might go up. And then look, we used to be 160 million average volume, right? Clearly, the main part of it was here, but we have been dropping so hard. We went from that, we've given up 9x, 90% of the volume. It was roughly 170, right? It's now, I think it was 160, right? So we're roughly at 10% of what it was not that long ago. So this stock is not what it used to be. And look, I'm more here to talk about the realities of truth than be a rah-rah fanboy. You know that, right? So if you disagree with anything, throw it in the comments. I'm telling you, but someone had mentioned an acquisition. I don't know if I saw any reply there or not, but yeah, Tony, if you know any more on that, let's throw that in the comments, right? But again, it's a team effort here, right? But overall, I'm super pessimistic. I've been pretty pessimistic really since we made that fail, right? So give me a reason to believe something else. Okay, high tide. I've often said I've secretly become a fanboy. Obviously, going the opposite of what I just said on the other one, right? I want the stock to do well, and I actually feel bad when I give bad analysis here, right? But I'm still holding what I think. I will say this line did a pretty good job, okay? And I do see that we're under it, but I guess in my head, again, I'm kind of a fanboy and I'm trying to give you a little bit of a let's hope this is happening, but maybe we're kind of oscillating on this line, okay? Because what's the importance of that line? So this is actually under on the weekly, but we'll get to the weekly later. But when you lose, if let's use the word if we lose a 139, all we really get are these like green up that really offset this red down, right? So I just see a pretty quick fall, especially after that 107, right? I feel like this 139 is kind of the last time we're gonna go as horizontal as it has on this thing. I don't think 107 is as strong as this, right? So I'm really putting a lot of emphasis on this 139, and it's why I think maybe there's going to be a hopeful oscillation here, right? Hopefully this 20 kind of comes and they just kind of just stay on that. That's the like literally like this happened right here, right? This is kind of what I'm hoping to have happen here one more time for us on this stock, okay? However, I'm not here to hope. You don't watch my videos to watch me hope. You're here to help hear my truth opinions, right? Not financial advice, but just my opinions. Couple things. Number one, all we're doing is riding under the 8. We need to get over the 8 for me to just feel any sort of good. From there, look, these two lines, the 100 and the 50, are way too close to each other. If any good was to happen, I don't see us getting over 150. I really don't. There's definitely this line right here, and let's say we beat it, whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and skip it, right? There's a couple reds. There's a couple reasons why we might beat it. These two being as close as they are, it very much makes me worry then, and it puts a pretty hard, there's a roof right here, right? There's no glass ceiling we're going to shatter, right? I'm real sorry about that in my opinion, but maybe if these lines separate, that probably means one's coming a little bit down and one's staying up, right? Which obviously isn't a good thing long term, but yeah, if we see some sort of recovery, maybe it's to 150. I'm going to zoom out just a bit. How low is this has been our lowest RSI. Damn, this thing was in the 15s. Yeah, 15, 17, 14. How low are you right here? 23, 27. I mean, this 37 is definitely a decent number. I obviously see the green line popping out. It's funny. I've now looked at 4 stocks. All 4 of them have the RSI popping out. Most of them, I think actually all 4 of them are at or on or just under a support line. This one's just under, right? But maybe there's a little bit of a recovery coming, but again, I'm not believing anything sustainable. Like if there was a recovery here, maybe we'd break the 8 and kind of run to the 20 right here at around 140, 144, right? Yeah, I don't think we would get over this candle, let alone these two right here. But honestly, what I had said last time, I think it's now been 2 weeks since I said it, but more things are saying we're coming to 107 than they are saying we're going to recover, right? And let me just look at this real quick. What are these numbers at? So look, the 8's at 148 and the 20's at 152. That's literally what we just put these numbers. I said we're not going to get over 150, right? So we're not. I don't genuinely. I look how long it's been since we've been under the 20, right? Like look how long till here, right? So it's been a minute. I don't see it. I realize it happened not that long ago. There was another little thing, but not enough making me believe just yet. What was the other number? 148. Where's 148 at? Is that you right here? No, it's a little lower. Again, okay, yeah, that's what I said. Literally, look at that bad boy, just at the top of this guy. This guy's 147, right? So a little higher up to right here. So again, if there's a recovery, I see maybe the top of this. If not, probably just kind of this, right? Maybe we even wick it to this 150, and that'll be really nice for someone. But definitely not much of a juice to squeeze. And look, I would maybe consider opening something at around 150 and trying to carry that there. But in oh man, hold on, how much? How does that red look? That doesn't look that bad actually. Okay, interesting. Yeah, you know what? 150 might be a considerable entry. How high is that ride? Man, there's like barely any juice in that. It's about 10% though. Can't get too bad with 10%. But you break this 200 and I mean, I'm telling you, it'll be a different game. And I feel like that's how I always ended on these, right? I don't really go back and remember how these end, but break the 200 and the tide will rise on high tide. That was a bad pun and I apologize. Stay down here, and I'm not going to make that low tide joke, even though I kind of did by just mentioning that sentence right there, right? But yeah, more things are telling me bad. We are technically under the support. We've been under it for 2 days. We're actually under the 8. By the way, what is this? Like, why is this one outlined and the rest colored? I've mentioned it a couple times. There's more than just a good and a bad. There's a good, a good, bad, a bad, hold on, a good, a bad, a good bad, and a bad bad. Okay, there's 4, not 2. Hopefully I said that well. This opened up here and closed down here. Day to day, it was 0%, but it's red because it opened here and closed here. So this is a good day because it's a 0. No one lost money, but it's actually a bad good day. It opened here, fooled some people, fooled someone enough to buy up here, only to watch it drop to down here, right? So that 0 green looks nice. Obviously, it's not great, but you know what? It's actually not, and that's how I reflect that on my chart. So just fun fact, if you stay to the very end, that's a solid little nugget that I don't know if a lot of people talk about. But hey, you know I appreciate your time so much. If you disagree with anything, let me know, but otherwise, more videos are coming.